Guess what? The best day of the year just happened. We got our first real snowfall up high, which means one thing: winter is coming. Here in Colorado, winter is a huge deal. Not only because I love to ski, but I also love winter hiking. If you've ever gone hiking in the winter and ended up freezing or sweating or even both, then this video is for you. So today I'm breaking down 8 common cold weather hiking mistakes that'll make you miserable and how to fix them so you can actually enjoy being outside when it's cold. Okay, I'm ready. I just took down the rhino on the wall, but that's okay. Let's do this. Mistake number 1, letting your water freeze. So, this is one of the most annoying cold weather hiking mistakes because you don't even know what's happening until you're really, really thirsty and you go to get a drink just to discover that all you have left is a block of ice. No water to be found. And even if you're someone like me who typically hikes with a bladder in the summer rather than a water bottle, let me just go ahead and tell you now. Even if you blow air back in the tube after every sip, that tube is going to freeze. Even if you insulate the tube, it's going to freeze. And no matter what you do, the bite valve, it's gonna freeze. So here's my recommendation: ditch the bladder entirely and swap to a water bottle in the winter. And then after that, understand the science. Everything freezes from the top down. So take your water bottle and stash it inside your backpack upside down. That means all of the water is going to freeze from the bottom of the bottle first to the mouthpiece last. So that means when you take a drink, you pull it out, you turn it right side up, there's a really good chance there is still going to be water left for you right around the mouthpiece where you need it the most. Oh, and bonus tip: if it's really, really cold outside, it's not going to hurt to stash that water bottle inside some insulation. Stash it inside an extra mitten or maybe a beanie or inside your down jacket. Whatever it is, that added layer of warmth is only going to help you. And you probably already have the layer in your backpack anyway. Plus, frozen water equals frozen morale or something like that. Winter hiking mistake number 2, not covering your mouth. So, this one is for anyone who hikes in legitimately cold temperatures. I'm not talking about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm talking about negative degrees, polar vortex, actually frigid temperatures. I've done it. And if you followed me for a long time, you probably saw me do my polar vortex hiking challenge last winter, where I went on a day hike with temps around negative 20 to negative 25. And let me tell you, those temperatures can make it really hard to breathe. But good news, because the fix is super easy. Bottom line: cover your mouth. For me, I always like to hike in a neck gaiter and pull it up over my mouth like this. Or if it's really cold, I'll pull it up over my head to cover my ears too. But either way, you cover your mouth. So that way, the gaiter or your high turtleneck or whatever else is warming the air before you inhale. So it's less of a shock to your system when it actually hits your lungs. Trust me, this one makes a huge difference when you're huffing and puffing uphill in negative 1 million billion degrees. That again. Winter mistake number 3, not covering your ears. So once winter really hits, I do a lot of trail running and winter hiking and uphill skiing. And I know that wearing a beanie on my head is going to be too much because I'll overheat within seconds. But still, especially when I get above tree line, that cold and those harsh winds really makes my ears cold and almost painful. So here's my hack to solve that, to keep me from overheating, but to also keep my ears warm. First, I always wear a trucker cap. It doesn't matter if it's literally nuking snow, I have a trucker cap on. Then I take either an ear warmer or a neck gaiter, like I mentioned before, and put it over top of the hat. That way my ears are protected so I won't get those cold ear headaches or feel all the wind chill, but I'm not overheating because I have plenty of ways for the heat to escape. Truly, it's the best of both worlds. And my dainty little ears thank me every single time. Mistake number 4, forgetting that the winter sun is actually going to burn you way worse. Here in Colorado, some of the worst sunburns happen in the winter. And I'd argue that this is true for most of the Rocky Mountain West. The sun reflects off the snow straight into your face. Years ago, I was climbing Mount Rainier. I was like, I don't know, 25 years old, young and dumb. And I didn't fully think this through. I didn't wear enough sun protection, hiked up to base camp on the first day, which was a very long day on a glacier, and then summited the second day on a glacier, and then hiked down the third day on a glacier. By the time I got to the bottom, my face was no joke, fuchsia. I got second-degree sunburns so badly that chunks of skin were falling off my face. When I got to the airport to fly back to Colorado, a little girl in the airport actually started crying when she saw me because I had so many oozing wounds, all because I was dumb and didn't think about sun protection on a glacier. So basically, go ahead and be not dumb like me and learn my lesson. Don't skip the sun protection in the winter because that snow and that reflection will nuke you. Always wear sunscreen, always wear a hat, and don't forget to bring sunscreen and put it on those little places you don't think of, like underneath your nose, underneath your chin, or even your earlobes, because all of those sun rays are bouncing off the ground below you right up underneath. And those burns hurt the actual worst. Mistake number 5, not eating or drinking enough. I am the actual worst at this, and I totally get why so many people do it. Because when it's cold outside, you don't want to have to stop to dig out your water bottle or maybe take off your mittens to get to a snack. It's going to get your hands cold, it's going to get your head cold. Whatever the reason, I'm lazy about it in the winter, so I know I'm not the only one. But here is the thing, you burn more calories in the winter than you do in the summer. Your body is working overtime in the cold because not only are you staying active, but your body's also trying to keep you warm. So it's pulling double duty. But again, that's when most people just forget to eat or drink or don't want to or don't think about it. But here's the tip, you got to eat. And if you can, try to eat calorically dense foods, things like chocolate or trail mix or anything else that's dense and heavy, and also sip water routinely. Not only is this going to help replenish your body and keep fuel in your tank so you're going to go, but it's also going to rev your metabolism, which is going to help keep you warm because it's like the furnace inside your body is churning. So really, it's a double win. In fact, there's another tip. If you're feeling a little chilly, maybe eat a snack first and give yourself 5 or 10 minutes before adding another layer, because that snack might be just the heat boost you needed. Mistake number 6, forgetting a headlamp. Oops. I won't even lie to you. This is one of my least favorite ones, and we're already experiencing it because I am an early bird. I like to get up in the summer, and I'm often on the trail by 6 a.m. But now it is dark outside. The sun currently is rising. Where is it? 7:05 a.m. and setting at 6:15 p.m. That's here in the Colorado Rockies in early October. It's just going to get worse, which means later sunrises, earlier sunsets, and a whole lot of darkness. But a lot of people are trying to cram their activity in after work or before work or whatever it is, and that darkness catches them off guard. So don't let that be you. And remember to always throw in a headlamp or a flashlight, although I strongly prefer headlamps. That way, if your hike goes late or you get a little lost or turned around or you're running behind schedule, you're not going to get stuck on the trail in the dark, wandering around aimlessly. Mistake number 7, forgetting your traction. So, no, cold weather does not always mean snow, but in a lot of the country, like here, it does mean snow and it means ice. And while a rubber outsole like this one on this pair of trail running shoes can get you pretty far, you're still going to end up slip slide downing frozen trails because these lugs aren't going to be enough. So save yourself and your potential knee ligaments and bring a pair of spikes. I like Catula micro spikes or even a pair of yak tracks. It doesn't have to be a big, burly pair of crampons unless you're doing like legit mountaineering, but that's not what we're talking about. But just little spikes you can pull on over your hiking shoes or trail running shoes. Even if you don't think you need them, you can just toss them in your backpack or your trail running vest in case you actually do. Now, to be fair, I am the queen of leaving spikes at home because I always tell myself, I don't need them, I'll be fine. And then it's also me later, crab walking down a hill so I don't slide off a cliff. So don't be like me, throw the spikes into your backpack and save yourself the stress. Mistake number 8, starting too warm or, even starting comfortably. It is so tempting to be cozy at the trailhead. And look, I get it. You just got there. Maybe it's an Alpine Star. You're getting out of your warm and cozy car into the frigid air. So it's really easy to want to layer up so you can start that hike cozy warm. But I'm here to tell you, you're doing it wrong. If you're comfortable when you first start hiking, that's wrong. The mantra that we say in our house and our daughter repeats constantly is be bold, start cold. It's super cheesy and probably overused, but it also works and it rhymes. So we just go with it. But basically, you want to be daring. You want to start the hike a little chilly. No, you don't want to be stripped down and frozen like a popsicle, but you do want to be a little bit cold. And that's because when you start hiking, the blood's going to start flowing, your heart's going to start pumping, and you're going to get warmer. And if you have tons of layers on, you're going to get warmer and start sweating through all of your layers. And once your layers are wet in the winter, it's going to be very, very hard for them to dry. So you can avoid this whole vicious cycle by being bold, starting cold or chilled, and warming up as you go. Friends, I'm here to tell you, you don't have to hide indoors once winter hits. Cold weather hiking doesn't have to be miserable. If you plan ahead, it can actually be one of the best times to be outside because it's beautiful and there are fewer people to deal with. And if you've made any of these mistakes, no shame, because I've clearly done them all too. But hit like and let me know in the comments which ones you continually screw up. Because as we all know, misery loves company. Until next time, I'll see you out there. Bye.